Yes, there you are.
We are right now, everybody, live with the 3+1 live cast, and we have for you a great show. Everybody, say hello to our guests. We are hopeful that everyone's going to chime in and join us and chat along with us throughout the live cast. Tracy, how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I am well. CJ, welcome back. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
No, you made quite an impression last week. Everybody wanted you back, so we're happy to have you back. People loved your perspective and the balance that you brought to the live cast. Why don't you go ahead and show our viewers what you're enjoying for tonight's dinner? Go ahead and show them, because you showed me. You showed it to me. So since you had to show me, I think you show our viewers so they can know who you are and what they're dealing with as they become your fan. I want all our viewers to know that as you fan CJ and you support CJ, I want you to know what CJ supports. And tonight's very special guest, the one and the only.
No. Hold up. How are you just gonna say here that? Hold up. You gonna say it?
We moved to the guest. Angela.
Ooh. Okay, I got something for you.
Angela, what's that? Lysol. That's a Lysol cup. You're drinking your disinfectant.
I like that. Where'd you get that from?
I saw like the president. There is a black-owned business in Atlanta, and I need to get the deets so I can give it to you. But she makes these cups, and they are so cute. So when the president told us to drink Lysol, wait a minute, am I doing it right? Okay, when the president told us to drink Lysol, she started making these cups. And
I want one.
Floated.
I want one, Angie.
I'm sarcastic. I had to get one.
But I need to ask you, was this black business that you supported, were they professional and gave you great customer service? Were they professional and did they give you great customer service? The black-owned business that makes those beautiful cups.
I'm breaking up. I can't hear. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, cut up your phone or to make sure you have that, because you sound far away, but we know you're close. So take your volume up, and that might be part of it. And the question was, did you get good customer service from this black business?
Okay. I can't hear anything.
Log out and come back. And while Angie works on her sound, and she, are you there? Did you get it? Now, CJ, what were you going to say while Angie gets the sound going? What were you going to say about your wonderful Chick-fil-A dinner?
No, because you were going to sit here and try to tear me a new one, talking about how I'm a fan favorite, but you need to know who I support. I support my people, okay? I support black businesses that give good customer service and treat me how I feel like I want to be treated when I come into their establishment.
Oh, good. Did you buy that from a black-owned Chick-fil-A? Oh, is there such a thing as a black-owned Chick-fil-A?
No, there isn't.
Oh, okay. Well,
but you do know they didn't make a statement, since you want to sit here and talk so much about Chick-fil-A.
You know, many businesses make statements because they're afraid of losing the money that we bring to the table. And they know that all they have to do is apologize, and black people are going to run back in support of them, because that is typically what we tend to do. So it doesn't take much. They can give Donald Trump $400,000 like Wendy's and Taco Bell, and then come back and say, oh, we're going to give the HBCUs a little bit of chump change that makes up for it. And we're going to say, oh, I'm so excited. Let me run and get me some Wendy's fries and some chicken nuggets. Ooh, spicy chicken. Ooh, now I'm going to go and get my Chick-fil-A, even though they're homophobic and racist.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not a racist. I love my people, okay? And Chick-fil-A does not define who I am, okay?
You know what? I will give you every right to be defined in your terms.
We have tons of celebrities out here who endorse homophobic and racist fashion designers, and they're out here making their money endorsing them.
Yeah, I personally now
they're on the same sentence when I say they're activists for the community. Yeah. So don't sit here and judge me because I just ate my Chick-fil-A and get a Chick-fil-A lemonade when you have celebrities out here that are acting that they're for the people, but then endorsing these companies, okay, because they're getting a check to wear their brands.
Yeah,
ding, ding. Let's start the show. Let's start.
Yeah, and you have the right to buy what you would like to buy. You can enjoy your delicious Chick-fil-A. And Angie is coming, and so I'm really excited about tonight's guest. Angela Maxwell is a Facebook legend. And while she's getting the sound together, she's getting everything squared away, I will say this. There are a few people in this world who can get you together the way Angela Maxwell can get you together on the Facebook platform. She goes hard in the paint. She goes hard in the paint. And you know who else goes hard in the paint is my friend Francesca Lane Warren. But see, I'm going to call, and also who was going to join us tonight for a very special ladies' night was going to be Angela and my friend Jamel and Tracy, but Jamel has to work. Friend, you know what Jamel is doing. You know the workload because y'all work for the same boss, so you know the workload. But
he brought me in as an understudy.
I brought you in, CJ, because you are a fan favorite and everyone loves your presence on the show. That's why we brought you in. So we got Angela now in the house. I was giving you a clue, Angela, talking about how you are a Facebook legend. But in addition to being a Facebook legend, Angela and I went to college together. I am a little bit older. I'm a little bit older. And let me give you, Angela achieved a lot of things during her tenure at Mississippi State, but not the least of being our third Black homecoming queen and second Black homecoming queen in a row that was a part of an organized session on behalf of the Black students at that university. When I was at Mississippi State, I was very fortunate to serve in the role of Black Student Alliance president, and we organized 2 years in a row our response to systemic racism. The Greek sorority and fraternity system had the whole homecoming court process on lock. And we organized together. We brought all the Black people together. We said, you are going to pick your candidates today, and we are going to vote for these candidates. And we did. And Angela Maxwell was our queen. Angela, welcome to the 3+1 Livecast. You a legend.
So much. Thank you so much. And let me say, he is not really telling y'all like his role with the Black students in Mississippi State. Zach Kirk changed how Black students approach things at Mississippi State. Please don't downplay what you did at Mississippi State. Like, they came up because of you. We've had now Black Student Association presidents and Black students are now regularly represented in homecoming in places at the university they were not prior to your leadership. So don't downplay what you did down there. You woke us up. You was woke before woke was a thing.
I was a little bit woke before woke was a thing, and I just hope I can wake up CJ and get him to throw out that Chick-fil-A. So,
Angie, question. So I had a question, Angie, for you. And shout out to all your accomplishment at Mississippi State. That's super dope. So I wanted to ask you, so that nice cup that you got from a Black-owned business, did they provide you with great customer service?
They did. You know what? I have been very intentional in 2020 about supporting HBCUs, which, like Zach just said, we didn't go to HBCUs. But I don't think Mississippi State needs my money. I think we're doing okay. Okay. So I support a lot of initiatives to support HBCUs, and I've been very intentional about supporting Black businesses. And like to the point where I log, how much money I'm spending with Black businesses. I'm well over $8,000 for the year that I've recorded, but it's been very intentional. If I can find a product that I like or a service that I like, and I can find a Black-owned business that does that, then I'm intentional about supporting them. And I don't understand the narrative that Black-owned businesses don't give good customer service. I'm not really into that. I don't even know where it comes from. Some of the best customer service I've ever gotten is from Black-owned businesses, especially Black women, because we get in there and there's like a family type thing where we'll start talking about our kids. We start talking about just different things that's happening. And you get, you kind of get a relationship. So I think we need to just be more intentional and stop making excuses, because Black-owned businesses rock. Like, honestly. I think we make a lot of excuses now. There is some truth to the fact that some of the products that I have, purchased from Black-owned businesses have been a little bit more expensive than, in other places. But there are reasons behind that. And if we look at systemic reasons behind that, those little extra $2 or $3, just pay it. Like, there's a reason for that. Their suppliers are charging them more. It costs them to run a business.
I think it's safe to say that Angela probably missed the week of from Thursday to Thursday with the Sunday in between. This is an ongoing battle on the live cast, Angela, where we have been debating hard about Black businesses, and when you say a Black business gives bad customer service, and I've been arguing exactly what you said, but I've gone a little bit further and saying don't even call it a Black business. If a Black business gives you bad service, it's not a Black business that gave you that service. It was just a business in general. Then on Friday, these two individuals with me, we went somewhere, maxed up, and we had an absolutely nightmarish experience with a business that so happened to be owned by a Black man. And not only was it a bad experience, he really could care less about the relationship that I had built with him, the money I had spent over the years with him. He didn't care. It meant nothing to him. But I still stand behind my belief. That's how we ended, Sunday. I still stand behind the belief that it doesn't matter. We are going to, because I'm going to tell you something. I was hoping to have Angela, Jamel, and Tracy all at the same time, because I'm like, this is what The View needs. You three ladies, and the way you would provide a blended dynamic would be absolutely phenomenal for The View. They're missing out. And with that being said, let's go right into The View. Right into The View with our very first topic, because we got a lot to talk about, y'all, starting right here with this young man.
Yes.
This young man, you had to say it. This young man is in jail. He's been in jail since the middle of June, and his name is William Marcus Wilson. He is in jail in South Georgia, in Statesboro. It's a college town. He was in the car. He was in his truck with his girlfriend, and he was with his girlfriend, and a large truck pulled up beside him, and they started calling him a nigger, and they called his girlfriend a nigger lover, and supposedly they then tried to run him off the road. According to news reports, he then heard a loud sound, something hit his truck. He thought it was a gunshot, that they were shooting at him, and so then he pulled out his gun. He's 21 years old, and he shot at the car, the Silverado. It had 5 white teenagers in it, and the gunshot he shot, and it actually struck a 17-year-old white girl in the back seat, and it killed her. He has been in jail, since June, and it hasn't gotten a lot of press coverage. It hasn't, but finally this week it broke. It made it to local news, and now it's becoming a national news story. And what he's saying is he stood his ground, that he was under attack, and he's using the Georgia Stand Your Ground law as his defense. The same Stand Your Ground law, which is very similar to what was used by George Zimmerman in the murder of Trayvon Martin. This has caused a lot of opinions and outcry and thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about this issue regarding William Marcus Wilson, 21.
This isn't surprising to me. He's a Black man who killed a white individual in Deep South Georgia. So the fact that, he's still in jail and he pled self-defense, that is not surprising. And it's also not surprising that the police officers, they failed to mention that he said that this was in self-defense. So this doesn't surprise me at all. This is the systemic racism that we have been dealing with forever. And so, but what I am surprised about is that we have not really been hearing about this. This has been going on since June 17th. So I need our Black delegation to gather themselves and put this on social media, because it is important that we don't want this baby to die in jail.
Right.
before, you know what I'm saying? Before he gets an opportunity to really defend why he did what he did.
Exactly.
I agree.
So let me, I posted on Facebook about this and I said I was conflicted, and I am conflicted. Let me tell you why I'm conflicted. First off, there are two things I want to bring up. Don't let me forget to attack the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the AJC. So just somebody take note. Zach has something to say about the AJC, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The AJC is listening. They pulled Tracy. They just yanked her off the live cast. They took Tracy away. The FBI and feds are watching. They let her come back. They just let her come back. So I blame the AJC for that. The AJC snatched her away.
I went to take notes. Sorry.
Let me tell you why. Number one, I'm conflicted. And I want, DeAndre, I want you to tell me why you're indifferent after you hear my nature of conflict on this. But number one, I don't believe in the stand your ground law, period. When George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, and I at first, I was like, this is a kid in a neighborhood. He may have been doing something, but that was a long time ago, right? Trayvon was the beginning of helping me realize that the criminal justice system is set up against us from the start in a way that that's much deeper than I realized. And so as I saw that case unfold, I came to realize that the problem was the law, and I knew George Zimmerman was not going to be found guilty because of the way the law was written. So I stopped supporting and believing in stand your ground then. We don't have the right to be vigilantes. We have the right to defend ourselves, and the self-defense laws that exist should be enough to exonerate us if we are really under attack.
Agreed.
So I don't believe in stand your ground. And so that makes me say, if this would have been a car of Black teenagers who allegedly attempted to run off a car of two white people off the road, or a white male and his Black girlfriend, and then a white male got the gun and shot in the car, would I have been wanting him to be exonerated and been angry? That is where my conflict comes in. And so I want to know what you guys think about that. Is this a fair conflict for me to have, or should I simply say, this is another case of a young African-American, I don't believe in saying African-American anymore, a young Black male who is being oppressed and who will not get a fair shot?
That shouldn't even be a question. It is
not a fair shot. You should already know that.
Yeah, this is absolutely another case of a young Black male who is not going to get a fair chance in our justice system. I don't understand why you are against stand your ground when it comes to Black people. We need to be able to. White people do it all the time.
I'm against it for anybody. I'm against I don't think anybody should have the right to employ vigilante justice, period. So because I don't support it for white people, I didn't support it as a defense against Trayvon Martin. I don't support it in a claim of defense against the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Therefore, should I still have the same logic to say I don't support it in this case in the defense of a killing of a 17-year-old girl?
There's a difference between those cases. And the difference is, though Ahmaud Arbery and Trayvon Martin were approached, they were attacked. There was a kind of violent behavior exhibited towards them. They were acting in self-defense. The difference in this case, and not they were acting, Trayvon Martin and Ahmaud Arbery were acting in self-defense in their case. In this case, this young Black man was acting in self-defense. So it appears to me that when Black people act in self-defense, they are the villain and not the victim. Mm-hmm. So, Angie, CJ.
In every circumstance, when Black people act in self-defense, they're the villain. In every circumstance. I knew this was going downhill when I first saw the story. Probably was it like last week? And the first thing that I saw, and I think this is what you're going to attack with AJC, is biracial. Why does it matter? Why does it matter that that he was biracial? Just say guy, he was a man. You know what I mean? But that I knew it was going downhill from there. And I didn't even have to read the whole article to know he was in the car with a white girl. So that is a problem in South Georgia, whether they want to, or East Georgia, wherever. It's a problem in Georgia. Whether they did
they say biracial to let his white overpower his Black? I don't know. Why do they say it? I'm confused.
I don't know why
if I was to look at him, I wouldn't think he's biracial. I would think he's black.
And that they think he's black too, which is what he's been treated like the black side.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
I knew this was going downhill. I don't know how this is going to play out in Georgia. I don't know how the Ahmaud Arbery case is going to play out in Georgia with all the anger still. I don't know how it's going to play out because it's still Georgia. So I know if it was in Texas, it would have been the same thing. We have the same issues in Texas where I am. And honestly, I don't know how this is going to go. I actually, though, understand why some people are saying that they feel indifferent about this situation. Not saying that I think that it's right, but I get it. Black people have an issue when we get caught up in these situations and we defend the other. Black people have an issue with that. Like, whenever we're defending other, and you know what I mean by other, Black people are like, that wasn't even your battle. You didn't even have to be in that situation. And I think that's why people are saying that. And so I'm interested to know if that's what you guys think. I'm looking at the comments and people are saying they're indifferent to this whole situation. I'm not indifferent to human life. I have a 15-year-old son. And when I see things like this happen, and he's being raised in the suburbs of Texas. And when I see things like this happen, I probably always wrap my mind around the fact that this could be my child. And so I'm not indifferent to it. I'm not indifferent to human life, black, white, red, or green. However, I think I understand I try to understand a lot of different people's, experience and how they think. And I think I get it why some people are saying they're indifferent. Not saying that it's right, but
Ezra, if you can, I hope Ezra, as a fellow Chick-fil-A supporter, I want you to know that you had some support earlier in the show with your love of Chick-fil-A and that delicious lemonade. The only lemonade I drink is Beyonce's lemonade, not Chick-fil-A's. But I want you to explain what you mean, if you can, about the picture that you use. Rashonda agrees with you, Tracy, that it's not to stand your ground. It's about how it's applied in the justice system as a whole. And DeAndre says that there are too many loopholes in the story. And all I want to just briefly say about that is when we listen to, and this is how my brain has to work. When you listen to Tracy, when you talked about the Trayvon Martin case and the Ahmaud Arbery case, I firmly believe that in both of those cases, those young men were innocent and they were killed. I believe that. But when you listen to what the assailants said, they claimed and they made a case for it being self-defense. Now, in this case, the victims make a claim of it being a road rage incident, that they shouted out a slur. He got mad and shot this girl because they were pissed off at what they said, not that they tried to run him off the road. Could it be that they're telling that maybe they're telling the truth and that this young man is lying?
I believe that right now we as Black people are scared. When situations like this arise, we are on react. We are on defense mode. We're not thinking about whether or not this is a little innocent situation. We are in defense mode. I walk in my community waiting for somebody to say something to me. I am, and it's like I am scared.
Because you better watch your mouth. Those police officers, them big Teslas that's in your neighborhood gonna come up there and get you because they drive Teslas over there.
They better not. But what I'm saying is, I do believe we are on edge as Black people. We are at every little thing. Like, I read the article and he said he heard something or they bumped his car and it made a sound that made him feel like they were shooting at him. And so what do you do in a situation like that? You react first. I'm not trying to diffuse the situation and keep riding. If I have a gun and there's 3 against 2 or 4 against 1 or whatever, if I'm outnumbered, I'm going to react first. So I want us as Black people to stop doing this whole, I need to fact check. We don't do that with white people. We don't get to see the facts for them. Why can't we just stand by them? And if we was wrong, well, shit, we was wrong. We were wrong. and just keep it moving.
I agree.
You're saying that we should agree with the black person no matter what?
No, but what I'm saying is in cases like this, it's like, why do we have to wait for the GBI to come into play in order for us to hear, all of these things? Why can't we just say, as a black person, I recognize this potential fear. I recognize how this person could have felt. It's empathy, it's compassion. And so for me, while they're investigating, that's one thing, but I just think we jump to the whole, I don't know yet. I need to see when it comes to black people. When it comes to our own, we got to see all the details. But when it comes to other people, we give them the benefit of the doubt until everything comes out. And I'm just like, forget that. In 2020, I'm like, forget that. Now, you know what I want to say.
Angie, what do you think?
I agree with that. This might not be a popular opinion, but I think I understand though why some people say that, they're kind of question some things, because we got to admit now, sometimes we know us.
We are talking about this young man that had a picture with your puppy dog.
Yeah, yeah. And I agree about this. No, I'm talking about in general. We have a general conversation. This young man with his picture with his dog and his shirt all open. Yeah, he don't look harmful. He don't look
very easy on the eye to be very easy on the eye.
Album.
That dog look like its name is Chloe
or Jack or something. That's Jack. So I'm interested to see what I am interested to see what the passenger in his car is going to say. She's a white woman, so she's going to be believed no matter what she says.
Absolutely.
So,
you mean his girlfriend? You mean his girlfriend?
Yes.
But what about the whole car of other? One thing that was revealed that's very unfortunate is that in the actual police report, where this young man claimed self-defense, there was like 2 or 3 sentences of his story. The whole report was based upon the 4 white teenagers in the other car, completely omitting his story and his side of the story. That's already been revealed.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I mean, but they had time to get their story together.
Yeah.
I just want to very briefly bring up, and I'm going to this is another piece before I talk about the AJC that I want to ask all of you guys. You actually brought it up, Angie, when you talked about this young man, and I know there's I know you guys, I don't buy into this nor support it. My mother, my mom is very fair complected and faced a lot of bullying growing up because of how light she is. So colorism is a big deal in my family, in my house.
Period.
It's a big deal. And so it's her number one issue. And it's a huge issue that she made sure that we were not raised with the colorism issue in the black community. But there's lots of memes and things about the light skin picture. And so is this a typical light skin picture?
Yes. Absolutely.
I just wanted, I hate to say,
light skin pretty boy.
Real.
Pretty boy.
This is now the question that I have about where you kind of brought it, and it was, the AJC highlighted the fact that he was biracial, but do you believe that, now I don't think it's the AJC's place to say anything like that, but do you believe that the fact of him being being biracial had an impact on how he viewed the world and how he viewed justice as it would be applied to him if he shot this girl?
I believe that may.
It could have, but we don't know if he was raised with. First of all, I don't know if his mom or dad, which one is white or black, and who's even say he was raised with, his white parent,
Parent, right?
His mother is white, his father is black.
Oh, his father's black and his mom's white. So who's to say he was even raised with his mom? I would need to know all that detail.
Yeah, because regardless, and that's true, because that's going to change how they look at themselves and how they look at the world and what kind of response they expect. And saying that, what I mean is that biracial children who are raised with the white side of their family identify as white. They expect to be treated like white people, largely.
Largely, they do. I shouldn't say, I never like to generalize and say all, because all is never the case.
Mm-hmm.
But biracial children who are raised with the black side of their family, they see things a little differently.
Well, my niece is living with me right now, and she is biracial. And the thing I can say about her is that she recognizes both sides. Like, she's beyond intelligent. She's 21 and she just really gets it. And she's dating a white guy right now. But whenever there's a conflict when it comes to racial issues, she's on it. So, and her mom is white and her dad is black, And so I don't know if all look at it that way, because I have a biracial friend who's like, my mom was white, but she raised me black. She raised me to know that my skin color is a certain thing, is a barrier, is an obstacle. And so I just don't know about all. Maybe
definitely not all. You can never say all for anybody.
But I do believe what you said. If they're raised around their white side of their family, that definitely plays a part.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It does. And I mean, that came up when I was having a discussion earlier about Dak Prescott and what black people expect from him. I don't know if y'all are into football, but I don't want to take far off subject, but this is an example of what I'm saying. Dak Prescott is a black quarterback in the NFL because his father is black and his mother is white. However, Dak Prescott was raised by the all white people in his family. For me, it's unrealistic for us to expect him to take these big stands on Black Lives Matter, because that's not his reality, regardless of what his skin color is. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that has been a battle that I've been fighting, because I defend that. But I need people to understand.
You by yourself with that one.
Yeah.
Prescott was canceled in this house.
And I know his mom has passed away. But,
God bless her.
But I will say
the Lord.
His mom's responsibility, whether he was raised by just her or not, it was her responsibility to teach him about his side, or to do something, because he don't look white. He look black. He's got black all on it. So for her to neglect that part of him, that's the parents, they've got to do a better job. Even with these white parents that adopt black kids, you've got to teach them about their culture, period, so that it won't be a culture shock when they get pulled over and they called a nigga.
Right.
I think for me, I just don't know how much. And I don't want to say that the woman didn't teach him anything. I don't want to say that. I don't know their household makeup. I know that he was raised by the white side of his family in the backwoods of Louisiana.
And he was probably raised.
My thing is, what can the white person really teach him about being black? That's her job, to take him to the black side of his family, so he can know his background.
Angela Maxwell.
I didn't mean to take this completely off, but I was trying to give an example.
It's a great example. It's an example that resonates. And let me tell you, it resonates because I'm someone I was on board and supporting Dak Prescott and supporting the Dallas Cowboys because of Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott has proven again and again and again that he does not care about the community that supports him, the black community. And you have Mahone, how do I say Mahone, whatever. You have Patrick with Kansas City. And he is right here, just as biracial, but a totally different background. And here's the difference. He's a man who is stand up. He is a man who is supporting his community. He is a man who made a massive stance and said, I don't care about myself. I care about other people. The
difference is Patrick Mahomes was raised in the home with his black father.
Yeah, I get it's the difference.
That dad showed up his junior year in college.
But Angela, you know what? This man is not blind. He has two eyes and looks in the mirror. And regardless of how they treat him on the surface, he should have enough common sense and discernment to know who he is and what he is in the eyes of this racist NFL system.
But sometimes you got to look at how he was raised and what kind of town he was raised in. If he was raised around all white,
it's the backwoods of Louisiana and all white.
And he adopted that way. Some people think, well, they like me. I'm accepted.
But Tracy, let me just, this is, and we could talk about this all night, but listen, this is the thing. So that means that we have to forgive Clarence Thomas because Clarence Thomas was raised to hate himself. That means we got to forgive Candace Owens. That means that we have to forgive Diamond and Silk because they grew up poor and they just want their own come up. Because just because Dak Prescott was raised by a white mother who is deceased, and because he went to Mississippi State University, a university that is known for having the highest percentage of African American or Black student attendance in the SEC, and a university that has always been on the right side of history. That's why I went there as opposed to going to the other school that they consider to be the flagship.
You could have gone to
the self-hatred and the racism that Dak Prescott brings to the table. This, you have people who are sacrificing putting their whole careers on the line. People that have sacrificed their careers, like Colin Kaepernick, who's also biracial, for someone like Dak Prescott, who won't even take a stance. You want to sit here and hug Jerry Jones and say, "Thank you, sir. Thank you, master." Dak Prescott is a modern day coon. And let me tell you why I say that. And you may not want to accept it because you love him and you support him and he makes us proud. But Dak Prescott is a modern day coon. On Saturday, I made a TikTok that has gone viral. And that TikTok was talking about Black people who do not care about their community. They care more about themselves and helping the greater good at a time when we need Black people to be a part of a larger collective. We need that from all of our people so that we can have and make a difference, because we are mighty in battle, but we are small in number. And when you have someone as influential as Dak Prescott saying, "I will not support the community and I will not support the movement," then that's, no matter what this man does throughout the course of his career, Zachary Kirk will never support him again. Period.
I never support him. I supported him in the first place. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, so it don't even really matter for me. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I touched that button. I didn't mean to do that.
No, that's the point of the show, Angela. But because you really, I mean, there are people out there just like you that are gonna love Dak Prescott no matter what. And I want to understand that point of view. Like, why do we love him?
I want to be very clear that it's not.
It's like CJ, enjoying his Chick-fil-A just now.
I want to be very clear that it's not no matter what, because I was very critical of him when he did the whole "I'm going to be 10 toes down on the line" and all of that. I was very vocal and very critical of him about that. But I think it was at that moment that I always try to understand people, because you can judge just from what you know and how you were raised and your upbringing. But I really try to understand. I think it was at that moment when I started trying to take a deeper look into why he made that comment. I mean, one thing about Dallas is and Jerry Jones is they gonna test your gangster. Okay, he is a fresh quarterback on his first contract. Okay, so I think a lot of it was political. A lot of it was political for his career survival. And I'm not taking up for him or trying to say that this is what he should have done or whatever, but I'm trying to understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to understand him and trying to understand where he is at. And I do think upbringing, I just feel like upbringing has a lot to do with it.
What about Ezekiel Elliott? He was also in the same situation. He came out strong, right beside Patrick.
He came out strong, but he's had since changed his tune.
He had COVID.
He was in the video with Patrick Mahomes.
He had COVID. Maybe COVID affected his brain. And because let me show you guys, COVID is on the rise.
Yeah.
Arizona, baby.
On Wednesday, there were 80,000 brand new COVID-19 confirmed cases in the United States of America.
Look at all these southern states leading the charge.
Southern states are the one who's bucking the system.
Yeah,
that's why they're in lockstep with Trump. They're listening to what he's saying. They're taking his advice about you don't have to wear a mask, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that.
Look at them hugging. And
this is a picture from Angela Maxwell's home state of Mississippi. And we all know that Mississippi changed and
Did you just kick me under the bus?
No. I'm queuing up the story. So okay. I'm from Mississippi too. Angela is from Greenville, right?
Yes.
And I'm from the Meridian area. It's called DeKalb, Mississippi, in Kemper County. And so my family, everyone still lives there. Mississippi, as most of us know, changed and voted to finally let go of the state flag that everyone else in America let go of in about 2002, 2012. They finally caught up and let the flag go. They actually were meeting face to face in the state capital of Jackson. And as you see in the picture, a number of Black lawmakers wore their mask, and a lot of white lawmakers did not wear their mask. And as a result, you have a massive outbreak of COVID-19 in the state house among state government leaders. So much so that Governor Tate Reeves of Mississippi has said, if you have come in contact with any state official, please quarantine yourself, because every day they're getting new reports of new members of Congress in Mississippi being infected with COVID-19. Today, I think the number is up to 32, either 26 or 32 confirmed cases of Mississippi lawmakers who have COVID-19.
What's that gospel song? You deserve it.
You deserve it. Oh,
yes.
Put them on in display.
You deserve it. Because the southern state, and I shouldn't say that because COVID-19 is proven to be deadly for a lot of people. So I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but the southern states who are really bucking the system are the ones who are suffering. And it's so crazy because they buck the system of political change too, and they're the ones who are suffering. Like it's in lockstep with everything that they've ever done. I'm kind of surprised at Arizona because they tend to, maybe I don't know enough about Arizona politics. I thought that they tend to be a little bit more progressive.
Arizona voted for, Donald Trump won Arizona.
Yeah, but on issues, I wouldn't think that they would be the exact same as Mississippi. Like, that's insane.
They are trending. They started to trend red during Obama. So that was a state that fed into the racist rhetoric, and they started to trend. Red, and so much so that again, Trump won the state. They are very
really governor. That lady that put her finger in Obama's face, is that Arizona's governor?
I think that is Arizona. They have a very liberal progressive in their cities, but beyond Phoenix, in the cities, they're very, very Republican and very, very divided. So I will have to say, Jesus, you said that was your gospel. So I would just say, Jesus, be a ventilator to all the ill and sick and shut in Mississippi legislators. So you're saying that these people deserved it, maybe. Well, what about this person?
Oh no.
I don't know if I believe. Oh, she say that.
What?
So you don't believe she's telling the truth?
It's hard for me to. She's on the. I don't. Because
you're here to say what you gotta say.
Speaking negatively about Black women, because I'm all about melanin magic and Black women and Black power and all of that. So it's very hard for me to just come out and be like, girl, I just can't get with you on this. It's hard for me to believe that she has COVID-19.
It's not hard for me. Have you seen her at every press conference? She has been around so many people, talking on them mics and touching on folk. Like,
Jeffrey, tell us where is this in Mississippi, Jeffrey? Where is this in Mississippi? I'm sorry, Angela. Sorry, Tracy, continue.
No, I'm just saying it made sense to me. She's in all those rooms. I feel like I got COVID when I go to the grocery store. So I know her being in such close quarters with all those people in those rooms, those police officers that are always around her. It makes sense to me.
So let me, Angela, Angela, you and I had a conversation about her family life, remember?
Yeah.
So I do believe that Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms has tested positive for COVID-19. I do believe that her husband tested positive first, and then now she's tested positive, and one of her children have tested positive. I do not necessarily believe that Mayor Bottoms may have contracted it from being out socially, but she could have gotten it from her husband. And we'll leave it at that.
That don't make that makes sense to me. That
just because Mayor Bottoms is quarantining doesn't mean that everyone in her home has been quarantining.
And she even talked about very early on her son wanting to go out. I don't know which child contracted it, but you know, her eldest son was wanting to go out, was rebelling against this whole thing. All of my friends are outside. Why can't I do it? So, you know, who knows? And we really, that's the other thing, y'all. We don't know how this shit is spread. Excuse me.
We don't, right?
We don't know.
There's too many theories. There's too many theories.
Dogs are getting this. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that I think this, and I'm probably wrong. I'm not in Georgia, but I feel like if she gets COVID-19 and she survives, her stock goes way up for VP. That's all I'm saying.
If she survives, she gonna survive.
She's gonna survive.
She definitely survive, but her stock, she's definitely gonna survive, and her stock for VP is gonna go through the roof. It's gonna put her. It's gonna.
Well, you know what's bad?
Ezra, we know that. Just stop right there, Ezra, Angela, and I know. We talked about it. We know. Who
was talking on old now?
Nobody. So moving on from there, this is an image that really has made its way around social media. It was all over the internet on Sunday.
Oh,
in fact.
And I want to know what your thoughts are from tonight's panel guest about the number of Black men and women who chose to brand arms in representation of their Second Amendment right this past weekend.
That whole picture doesn't look safe to me. I'm sorry.
There's all kinds of COVID going on in there.
Yeah, let's start with that. COVID and then angry Black people with guns. I don't know.
No, I have to take up for them because I have been watching the In Fact organization. I've been listening to their leader. His name is Grandmaster Jay. And he was just on Rolling Martin the other day, but I have been watching. I've been keeping up with these folks, and I really like what they are standing for. Here's the thing:
tell us, Tracy, what they stand for, because I don't know them. I don't know these people.
When white people go and brandish guns, it's okay, but when Black people do it, we are deemed as angry. What this organization? Can you look up the name, the acronym? Oh, it's called the Not Fucking Around Coalition. In fact, so I love it too. And basically, they are letting the world know we are Black, we are armed just like everyone else, we are trained. But here's the thing: we are here to protect our people.
How can you say we're here to protect our people? Okay. We're here to protect our people, and yes, we are in, diminishing times right now with this movement and the whites killing the Blacks. But we don't ever want to talk about the Blacks killing the Blacks around the corner.
But that's another thing.
I'm gonna let CJ.
Don't say that we're Black and we're here for our people when our people are killing our people. But don't talk about
you also got to understand they have a part of their coalition is to protect our communities as well. You got to research them. You got to,
and I will. But I'm saying, how can we protect our community when our community is killing?
CJ, come up close to your mic. I don't hear you as well. And so take a moment with your mic, because you're going in a different direction than where I need to go. We're gonna go in that direction because I want you to say all you need to say in a moment, because it's a good topic. CJ wants to talk about Black on Black crime, which
I'm not saying I want to necessarily talk about what I was saying was that she was.
Wait a minute. Because Black on Black crime from CJ is going to be a really great thing to hear. But before we hear,
why is that be good to hear from me? It's the truth.
Because I don't think it exists. Black on Black crime it doesn't exist.
It don't exist.
Crime is crime. It doesn't exist. But I want to say this about the image, and I won't stay on it long. I promise. I won't stay on it long. I just want to say this is what I say, Tracy. I do not like to see white people brandish assault weapons because they should not be legal. There is no reason assault weapons should be legal. So just because white people carry these assault weapons to terrorize and instill fear in people doesn't mean we should do it as well. Is it our legal right to do it? Yes, it is. It is our legal right. So therefore, it's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying Zachary Kirk doesn't support it, and I don't want to see it. In addition, when I saw white people march the state capital of Michigan and threaten and attack and hurl slurs and assaults at Governor Whitmer of Michigan, I was disgusted. I would have felt the same way whether they were white, black, or otherwise, or anything in between the color spectrum. I also want to say that this is not the time for, what does NFAC stand for?
Not fucking around coalition.
This is not time for the NFAC, not gonna F around. It's not time for them to do this. When just this past Friday, the president of the United States stood in front of Mount Rushmore, disrespecting sacred indigenous land, disrespecting sacred indigenous bloodlines, to say that black and brown people are mobilizing to kill all the white people in America, that all the Negro and all the white Negro-loving teachers are going to now miseducate their children and ruin America. That was his message. At the exact same time that message comes out, this image goes viral.
Well,
to be honest with you, I don't think that it was by circumstance. I believe it was all planned out. And I actually believe things like the NFAC, I believe all of that stuff is all funded and financed probably by the NRA anyway, so they can.
Absolutely not.
I do believe it.
You need to research.
They will sell out everything they have to maintain their power. There are a lot of people like Charlemagne the Gadfly that are rising to prominence by disenfranchising and disaffecting black people. If everybody got along, if we were moving forward at a progressive rate, these people would not have careers. In fact, wouldn't even need to exist if we were in an era of anti-racism. So they are profiting from the dissolvement of our community. So I'm not saying it's true, Tracy. I'm just saying I question all of it. And with that being said, CJ,
being said, I need you to research it, because my ex, Kamal Bowden, used to tell me this. He would say, talk what you know, not what you think.
Say that again.
Talk what you know, not what you think. And I'm gonna
and that's gonna go to Zach, that you don't think that there's black on black crime going on.
It doesn't exist.
So Nipsey Hussle,
like Ezra said, there's no white on white crime.
Nipsey
so
Hussle,
demonize black people.
Hold on.
Why feed into the narrative created by racists to continue to make our community seen in a negative light? When you say black on black crime is a white construct, it is something that white people created to make the whole world believe that we are savage, violent people. And things like this feed into the false narrative of black people being killers. We have the right to bear arms. We have the responsibility to protect ourselves and our community, but we're feeding into their narrative.
So Nipsey Hussle wasn't killed by another black person?
He was, but guess what that's called? Crime.
So that's not black.
It's called murder. It's murder. If a white person kills a white person, we don't go around saying it's white on white crime. If an Asian person kills an Asian person, we don't go around saying it's Asian on Asian crime.
We don't, because black on black crime has been going around for years. Murder. Gang related. Okay.
Here's my issue with that.
If you're gonna sit here and think and truly believe that you live in this world that there's not black on black crime, and black on black crime does not exist and have not existed for the past over 15 years, there's something wrong with you.
Angela Maxwell, what do you say?
I get both sides. I understand exactly what you're saying. He's not saying that black people aren't killing black people. He's saying that the label of black on black crime is detrimental. Because when white people kill white people, they show it all day on Investigation Discovery. I'm a fan.
Me too.
Nobody's saying white on white crime. It's that tag is not given to the white people. This is what I'm understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong. But white people kill white people. Exactly what Jeffrey's saying. White people kill white people heads and tails over how many times black people kill black people. And you never hear the narrative of white on white crime. It's just not a thing. And
You
so
don't.
I don't think he's saying that black people don't kill black people. We all know that.
You hear the word serial killers because white people do the heinous crimes, cutting people's bodies up, eating them up, chopping their bodies up, cutting their heads off. That's why you don't hear white on white crime.
You gotta start watching Crime Watch Daily. Because when you watch Crime Watch Daily or Snapped, they will show you that good white on white crime. And it will dispel all of your doubts about how this narrative is being played.
Let me defend white
people. Tracy.
Let me defend white people. Tracy, there are black serial killers out
Tracy, my work wife. You're gonna sit here and tell
nobody cares
that black on black crime is not going on in the hood. That gang on gang related crimes are not going on in the hood.
No. I'm not going to say that there's no black on black crime. What I am going to say is that we have an issue with crime in our community that is not rooted in something that is self-defense. We just, there is an issue with us shooting each other over things that we don't own nothing.
Gang related, drugs.
We don't own
money.
And for me, I get sickened when I hear about those babies getting killed last week. And I lived in Chicago for 12 years and people were getting killed all the time on the South Side.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
At the same time, it was white folks getting killed too. And it was domestic violence happening. It was also mass shootings happening. And we don't put those same labels on them that we do our very own. And
what do you mean? I'm sure. You see what I'm talking about? Angela Maxwell.
I said I'm sure there was a lot of killing going on in Chicago.
And act like he is in 1984 America. That he is living in 1984, where you got the Bloods and the Crips shooting back and forth, gunning down kids left and right.
Gang still exists. I hope you do know that. Gang still exists. Okay. Gang still exists. Okay. Very much so.
CJ, I don't think anybody is disagreeing with you that black.
Oh, Zach is because Zach believes that there's no black on black crime going on.
It doesn't exist. Black on black crime doesn't exist. It's
black
black people kill black people all the time. And what I'm saying is that they don't talk about this. Is what I'm saying. Black people want to lift people up, and we should support people. We're here for the community, and we're here for to voice our opinions, for our voices to be heard, and we need to stick together. But what I'm saying is, black people will tear black people down in a heartbeat, and they will also wish harm and murder black people in a minute. Is what I'm saying to you. And for you to sit here and think that that don't happen, shame on you.
Tiger King.
Shame on you.
You have not seen the Tiger King, because the Tiger King, that white man wished death on that white woman. What is her name? I forget. But
and I'm not saying that white on white crime doesn't happen, but
look, that was some of the best white on white crime.
Are you talking about
saying white on white crime doesn't happen? Oh God. What I'm saying is that I'm not white, so I can only identify with the black community, okay? And black on black crime exists. And again, Zach, shame on you that you don't believe that.
There is an issue.
Hold up, and then think about it. When you think about all these movies in the past, movies that were based on not true stories, but true life in the hood, Boys in the Hood, Men's Society, Juice. You think of all these classic movies where you see black on black crime. That was things that was happening in real hoods in, California, in New York, and Chicago, and New Jersey. So don't act like that's not our life, and that's not what has happened in our life. And it's still happening in our life.
It is not our life.
Do you think John Singleton was just making these movies up?
It was fiction. That's made up. It's a movie. It's fiction. It's fiction. It's not our life. No one lives in.
If you just heard what I said, if you just heard what I said, if you heard what I said it was not a true story, but it was factual on stuff that happened in those type of neighborhoods.
Angie, this is what I deal with when these two get together, baby. This is what I deal with. And yes, Her name was Carol, aka Karen Baskin. He issued a warrant of death on that lady. That was white on white crime. And I'm gonna mute myself.
I think I really want to get an understanding with you guys, but it looks like, Tracy, you've been fighting this battle for a long time. So I feel like what I'm about to say is about to fall on deaf ears, but I have to say this because I understand what CJ is saying and I understand what Zach is saying. Black people kill black people, CJ. We agree.
They do.
Zachary, I agree with you that the label black on black crime is an issue. It's an issue because it's been turned into a narrative to describe and define black people's crimes as being somehow bigger or happening on a more frequent level than white on white crime, which we never hear about.
I agree with you.
That's
so
what
let's stop saying it. Why don't we take control and stop the narrative of black people?
Fine. Let's call it murder. Let's call it what it is, and not put.
Unmute yourself, CJ.
I had to mute myself because I was really about to go off.
Sorry,
don't go off.
I feel that way because I actually like your point of view.
Many times, people who are wrong as hell go off. Feel free. Donald Trump does it every day. He does it on Twitter every day because he's wrong and he knows he's wrong.
You're not always right, Zach. Okay.
Nope, I'm not always right. And when I'm wrong, I get my butt on the Facebook and I apologize. I was wrong on this show about reparations.
And you was wrong about black-owned businesses as well, too. And you got a glimpse of that in person.
You know what? And I did. And
the Lord knows. Let me tell you that the Lord knows. The Lord knows, because how ironic. The next damn day it happened. The Lord be knowing.
Yeah.
The next damn day we went out, and what happened? Exactly what we were just talking about the night before.
This is lemon tea. Lemon tea. You see that this is lemon tea, and it's steep from Bigelow. It's not even like a high class tea. It's like an old cheap Kroger tea.
Well, I was drinking something very strong.
Well, work wife, I hope you had a sip for me, okay?
I did, baby.
Thank you.
It is mighty strong because this conversation, somebody is mighty wrong. And so
no. We both, let me tell you that we both have valid points, Zachary, okay? But what I'm saying to you, I don't identify with white on white crime because I'm not a white man. I'm a black man, okay? That lives in a predominantly black city, okay? So when I know black on black crime is real, now where did the whole title come from, black on black crime? Where the
racism? It's a racist construct.
It's a racist construct. How is it racist? So if a black person kills a black person,
well, you can be white and kill somebody and it's murder.
So if a black
person does it, it's black on black crime. And so what they
what are they supposed to call it? A man killing a man or a man killing a?
They call it a crime. Call it murder. Let me tell you and give you a prime example of how black on black crime as a concept has been used to degenerate the whole entire Black Lives Matter.
To degenerate? It's a fact.
Your president just recently tweeted out is that we can't worry about Black Lives Matter when black people don't care about black lives themselves. And of course they care about black lives.
And they don't.
When you perpetuate with the concept of black crime,
black people, that's probably let me tell you something.
And you need to stop.
Let me tell you, that's probably only the right thing that President Trump probably said was that black people don't support black movement. Do you have some people? Let me tell you something. You have some black people out here that's protesting, that's rioting, that's looting. They don't even know what the hell they're protesting or rioting for.
No, okay. So
I feel like, let me tell you that. Now I feel like there are people that's out there that's for us, that are true activists, that want us to see, to see black people do better in life. But there's also black people that are just out there for media reasons. They don't know what they're protesting for. They don't know why they're out there for. They're just doing it to be in the mix.
Here's my rebuttal. Here's my rebuttal to that. We do have an issue within our communities. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we are just so far behind economically. We are so far behind educationally. It's just so many factors that come into play. When I lived in Chicago, would you stop doing this? Would you stop with when
you said educationally, and so we're getting ready. That's our next topic, but continue.
Okay. But when I lived in Chicago, I would just always say it is hard for you to plant flowers on concrete. And that is the kind of life that a lot of those people on the South Side and in those projects, Cabrini Green, they were living on concrete. They were living hard lives. And so we are expecting people who have a lack of resources to behave as if they are not in some kind of for lack of better terms, war within themselves, war within the community. They're looking for a way out.
I don't agree with that either.
You don't think that they? You don't think that?
I think all of that is a part of a false narrative that has been used to stereotype and portray Black people in certain neighborhoods that white people fed to us, that we bought into and we believe we perpetuated. I don't think that's reality.
Have you ever lived in those communities? Because I have.
I grew up in a trailer on a dirt road in Mississippi.
Okay, that is not
I believe
on the South Side of Chicago. That's the same thing, bro. That's not the same.
Parents in the project love their kids just as much as parents in.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I don't think it makes them concrete.
No, what I was saying was, if you live a hard life, that is the problem. Is that these people live such hard lives, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel for them. So if you put a whole bunch of people, stack them on top of each other, living this same reality, what do we think we're going to get? We're going to be angry. We're going to be despondent when it comes to our own. I mean, we could talk about it all day, but
we did. But one thing that helps everyone improve their station in life is education. And so our president and the Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, want our children to get an education, even though COVID-19 is spiraling out of control. Just yesterday, both Betsy and President Trump said that American school children should return to school face-to-face, despite the fact that COVID-19, as we just talked about, is on a continuous increase. So much so that Arizona, some parts of Texas, and even some parts of Georgia are saying that they don't have enough hospital beds to accommodate the number of patients that now require hospitalization.
The problem is we have an educational system that is run by a woman who has no clue what a real education is. Her education was bought. She grew up in privilege. Donald Trump's education was bought. I don't for 1 minute believe that man took a test. I don't believe for a minute that man took an SAT, ACT. I do not for 1 minute believe that man went to school. I have always believed that his education was bought and paid for. So we got the lives of our babies in the hands of two very uneducated people.
Tracy, he said, he graduated from an Ivy League university, University of Pennsylvania, founded by Benjamin Franklin.
Read his niece's book. His niece is going to tell it.
I can't wait to read it.
But for me, I didn't have to read it to know that he has a very limited vocabulary. This man is uneducated. He's not well read. He has, his father bought that education for him because he knew he was a screw up.
What's interesting about Betsy DeVos is that before she became the secretary of whatever she's the secretary of,
Secretary of Education.
Yeah, okay. That before she did that, she spent a large amount of time bucking the public school system. And so how do you make somebody Secretary of Education whose responsibility is largely the United States public school system. When they spent their whole life bucking the public school system, she has been trying to privatize education for a very long time. And I think that this move that she's making right now, it plays into her strategy of privatizing education. I really do. I think this is going to be a complete disaster.
Exactly.
I'm looking
Well,
for
you took the word out of my mouth.
alternatives.
They want to kill our children, but they want to kill this world.
Right. And I think that she's going to force the children to go back to school face to face. A lot of people are going to be sick. It's going to be catastrophic. It's going to be a disaster. And then she's going to use that disaster to prove her point about privatizing education and start putting all these things in place that she wanted in place from the beginning. And I think it's really, they're playing politics with our lives. And I don't play by my son.
Right. It's just not. It's not a right time for the kids to go back. I mean, not only are you dealing with the rise of this COVID-19, but you're also, coming into flu season, right. And kids are very, receptive to getting things like that. So why would you even put them in that kind of danger, knowing that not only are they going to face this virus, but also, face the flu? And now I think allegedly now this virus is spinning off into another COVID or something like that. I don't know. It's just not smart. It's not smart. But look who's saying it. So I mean, I'm not surprised.
Angie, do you want your son to go back to school?
I'm okay with him going online. We finished.
Well, your child is 15 years old. So what? He's like a sophomore.
He's a sophomore high school.
Yeah. So like for something like that, online school I think is okay. But I mean, really, online should be for all the kids right now But I think it's easier for someone that's in high school to do online learning as opposed to someone that's in elementary.
This would be
what about the parents that can't afford childcare for their younger children?
This is the perfect time for educators to strike.
Right.
And make some demands and salaries. If they just would strike, because them parents maybe was struggling for them 3 months that they had to teach their own children and work at the same time.
I felt so bad, yeah.
And I think that 15, high school age kids are self-sufficient and can work from home. Here's the issue. When I was 15 and 16, I was thinking about sex and leaving me home while my parents go to work. This is going to be a great opportunity for me to be like, yeah, Mom, I did my homework. You know what I'm saying? And then have my boyfriend come over before my mama gets home from work at 6:00.
Tracy, why are you saying that with Angie? I mean, Angie's like, my son is 15. Like, what?
I'm letting you know, Angie, baby. That's what we.
And let me tell you something. The times have changed now. These kids out here are fast and grown nowadays.
Okay.
Times have changed.
And they're smart. And so I just do not believe high school age kids in their maturation stage can stay at home by themselves and just focus on education.
And Nathaniel, tell me where you are. What school system has decided to do K-5 face-to-face 6-12 from home? Let us know.
What? Say that again. I didn't.
I was telling Nathaniel to let us know what school system is letting them go. Elementary is going to face-to-face, but secondary is going to stay at home.
I know that they're offering that option in Texas. They're leaving it up to the different ISDs. So there are a lot of different independent school districts, all over, the DFW area. And they're leaving it up to the independent ISD. So everybody will be doing something different. I have some friends who are principals and different ones, and they're talking about the different strategies that they're using. Mm-hmm. And I think that in some of the ISDs, like the part-time where they'll be going to school online, I think 3 days a week, and going to class 2 days a week has been on the table. There's a lot of different things on the table, but the governor of Texas has left it up to the school districts at this point.
How does that protect your kids from this disease? It doesn't. Going in for 2 days and not going, it's just not enough time to quarantine. And then they bring grandparents and I believe this is population control.
So one thing that, and it was stated earlier in the comments by Ezra, I agree. I I do worry about children and their social skills, not about learning social skills, but for many kids, school is a refuge. Home life in America can be very challenging for some families. And by them going to school, they're getting a break from some of the challenges they face at home, especially teenagers when they're going through a number of rebellious stages and they're finding out who they are. They're finding out how to navigate their lives and navigate their wants and needs. And school helps them tremendously when they do that. I am worried about a lot of teenagers who are feeling very isolated because they're not able to interact with other kids. I know
teenagers. Child abuse here in Dallas has people been arrested for child abuse here in Dallas, and it's gone up tremendously since March. It's been really bad. That's something that's not really making the news, but I'm friends with defense attorneys and prosecutors, and the conversations that we've had about some of the child abuse cases that have come through their offices it's been bad, y'all. Like, I have a soft spot for small kids. Like, they can't defend themselves, and it's been bad for them. It's been really bad. Kids in abusive households, it's been really bad for them.
That is an issue. But I also will say, I saw Ezra's comment that her school takes the temperature before.
What is that? What does that prove?
You can't really dictate what people do when they're at home, though. So
they can be asymptomatic.
Your child could be asymptomatic and passing it on to other people. And when they take it home to their families, my issue is, do you have good health insurance and good life insurance? Because at this point, those are the two things that are going to matter at, when schools open up and restaurants start to open up, life starts to open up. You just need to make sure you are prepared with health and your life insurance, because people are dying.
So Angie brought up a good point when she said she has a soft spot, for kids. And many people do have a soft spot for kids. Angie, I want to know, do you have a soft spot for this young man right here?
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I want you to read my shirt. What does it say? I miss the old Kanye.
I need that shirt.
That's what my shirt says. I also bought this from a Black-owned business, and the customer service was great.
Do you believe that Kanye West is a new Kanye West, or is this kind of the Kanye West he always has been and it's come out?
I believe that this Kanye West is the scab is off. I think if I've been a fan of Kanye since the beginning, since his jaw was wired, and I miss those days. And I think that he showed us a level of narcissism back then. And I think he showed us a level of kind of being unhinged back then. But I think the difference between Kanye then and Kanye now was my soror, Dr. Donda West. May she rest in peace.
That's it.
And I think that when he lost his mother, something
lost his mind
inside of him. And then he got with Lord, he hooked up with those Kardashians, and I saw the train wreck coming. I think there is a level of mental illness with Kanye West. I don't know if it's because he's never really gotten the help that he needed after he lost his mother, or if it's always been there. But I think we got to see the crazy come out, and I think. It's gonna be bad, and it's gonna be bad, and it's sad for me because I feel like Kanye West had an opportunity to take all of that and gear it toward being a real voice in this community. People were listening to him, people were following him. I'm talking about it in the early days, and now it's just like watching a train wreck, and it's sad.
College dropout days, okay?
Yeah. The most recent news surrounding Kanye is that he has been suffering from a bipolar episode with the announcement of him running for president, even though he announced in 2015. If we remember back then, he was going through that bipolar stage and he hadn't yet been diagnosed and all of that stuff. And this is yet another bipolar, Negro. You had all year to announce, and you announced in July. Like, something is going on. And I do agree with Nathaniel that Kim is afraid to leave him because if she leaves him, I think his whole identity right now is attached to her. And so if she would feel guilty if he were to do something to himself.
Kim Kardashian, just like every single one of that family, except maybe the youngest one. What's the youngest one's name who hasn't had all the surgery yet?
Kendall,
a fellow Scorpio. All of those Kardashians, with Kim being number one, are a part of the problem. They are just as guilty and complicit in the Kanye West foolishness as Kanye. They are culture vultures who have misappropriated Black culture publicly for way too long and gotten way too much praise for doing it.
I believe that.
I firmly believe that Kanye West is a plant and is a big play by Donald Trump and the Republican Party to once again disenfranchise the Black vote and the young vote. They want Black people, particularly Black men who are very vulnerable to not being on board with Joe Biden or the Black female vice president that he's very likely to pick, to then come on over and just vote for Kanye, because they know that a third party candidate will be a clear push in the Trump victory direction. This was proven by the results in Michigan. Donald Trump won the state of Michigan by 10,000 votes. Black turnout in Detroit was low.
Yeah.
Jill Stein received 50,000 votes. If everyone who would have voted, if half the people that voted for Jill Stein would have voted for Hillary Clinton, she would be president right now. Donald Trump and the Republican Party knows what they're doing, and they called in their big dog to get involved and do what he could do to further this rub. I firmly believe that Kanye West is still supporting Donald Trump. He and his wife and his family have benefited from the relationship they have with Donald Trump, and this is all meant to further hurt the Black vote.
You don't even have to believe it now, because he actually said it in an interview with the New York Post 2 days ago.
What he say?
In an interview with the New York Post 2 days ago, he said that he understands that his candidacy is probably going to scab off votes from Joe Biden, and he doesn't have a problem with that.
So there is nothing that Kanye West can do. I mean, people need to take these clips and write it down. Everything that Zach is boycotting for life: Dak Prescott, Chick-fil-A, H&M, Starbucks, and Kanye West. It's over. Never again. I don't care if Kanye West comes out
H&M.
Yeah. They called you a monkey, CJ. They called you a monkey.
Oh, God. You know about the whole green sweatshirt
They called
thing.
You a monkey.
You know about the whole green sweatshirt thing,
Well,
but that was 2 years ago. And
I'm a Scorpio. We don't forgive and forget.
So you know when the Black boy had on the coolest monkey and the jungle hoodie on?
Yeah. And Gucci too. Remember the monkeys?
The blackface. They did the blackface.
Yeah.
Well, I can't afford Gucci, so that didn't affect me in any way. So me boycotting Gucci isn't going to do anything. It's not going to make a difference. So there's no reason for me to boycott Gucci. I've never bought Gucci. I will never buy Gucci. I'm not gonna.
So you don't buy H&M because of the monkey thing.
Yeah, okay. I don't buy H&M now because of the monkey. You're not gonna see.
They never came out and said they called him a monkey. He had on a hoodie. And let me tell you something. Furthermore, the parents of that child. Hold it. The parents of that child could have clearly said no, they didn't want their child to. So you need to be questioning the parents on why the parents even let him even put that hoodie on.
Because they were bought. They bought a child that day.
No. The mother
no.
came up, like, we getting paid. She was real hood.
And that goes right back to what I said earlier today about how Black people sit here and feed into stuff that they shouldn't be feeding into for $1, but then want to say they support the Black people.
Well, look here. I gotta stop y'all because I do believe that when there are racist images in these high-end brands or even low-end brands like an H&M, we should stop supporting them because it is very clear to me that they have no representation in their board and in their administrative staff. So until they increase the representation, my dollars will not be welcomed.
won't be.
So you're saying, hold up, Tracy. So you're saying that you have not purchased nothing from H&M since that incident has happened?
I haven't.
Let me say,
I'm not a big H&M shopper anyway, so
let me say this. Prior to that, okay, prior to the whole hoodie incident, and maybe my vision is bad, I don't know, but I don't think it is on this case. H&M has always been very well diverse with their models. It's very seldom that you would even see a white model in their campaigns. It was always black.
And that's the problem.
Models.
That is the problem.
Because y'all buy cheap clothes.
Before the whole monkey hoodie thing. So I don't truly believe that they meant to see, we take monkey as being associated with black people. So of course we took offense to it when the black kid had on the
historically monkey, we were described as monkeys.
As monkeys, correct.
And so for me as a black woman, knowing that, I would never put my child in a monkey nothing.
Never.
So that's why I said question the parents on who even allowed that campaign.
And we did. We dragged her ass when she came out and said that she was not, against this. We dragged her ass. But I will also say this. We have got to stop supporting places that do not know or want to know about systemic racism and how things have affected our communities. Because I'm a part of the Black theater scene. And the biggest issue that we as Black actors have is that these Black theaters will put our faces on their flags out in front of their theaters. They'll put us on their websites, but their board does not represent that. Their administrative staff does not represent that. And when we come in and audition and book these plays, the directors don't represent that. The dramaturgs, the designers don't represent that. So you getting the money off of our face. But when we come into your organization, we don't have any advocates. We don't have any allies. We don't have anybody in the room that makes us feel safe enough. So that's the problem with an H&M putting Black people on the front of their ads, using us to sell stuff because they know we pay. We put our money into buying shit. They know that. They know how to market it to us. Mm-hmm. So, Yeah, we do need more hair and makeup staff, and I just met with the Alliance Theater to talk about them. So
they need more hair and makeup staff. CJ, I know you want to make a point, and then I'll come back to hair and makeup.
No, I'm not saying nothing about it. No,
honestly, though, CJ, we if these companies cannot see that there's a lack of representation, we don't need to support them. Period.
No, I agree with that. No, that part I agree with. I agree with that. I do.
Tracy,
there's nobody in the room. See, had I been in the room, I've been like, nope, you can't do that. That little white kid got to be the strongest monkey in the jungle. It can't be the Black kid.
You gotta have Black friends in these situations. They'd be like, yeah, don't do that.
That's a good idea. But they don't have any on staff.
Well, someone made a valid point. I think Ezra, if I said her name wrong, I apologize. She made a valid point. Like the PR team, they knew it, and they should have said something. They knew it.
But do they? Do these PR teams really know that what
they had to know it? They had to know it.
No, listen, I've talked to my agents. I have talked to so many people in the acting industry who are white, and they are oblivious, a lot of them, to some of the things that are racist within. They have been living in a bubble of privilege.
It matters. Representation matters. Having diverse staff matters. Tracy, you're on the Netflix show Sweet Magnolias. Somebody brought it up. Again, if you haven't watched Sweet Magnolias, watch it. If you haven't now tried HBO Max, you want to try that as well. Tracy's also on the HBO Max program, season 2 of Doom Patrol. Want you to check her out on that.
My wife out here making it, doing it.
Your live cast wife is making it.
I will say this show had so much diversity on the set.
Don't act like it's the only show with diversity, because Bravo says they also have diversity with this. The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Now, everything.
Now, Nathaniel, I don't know if they have people that do good Black hair and makeup based on these images, but
no.
but it does exist. What do you guys think about Monique possibly joining the cast of The Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm here for it. I am a RHOA fan. I've been a fan of the franchise since day one. And Monique, she brings it. She's good TV. She's drama filled. She has a husband. They have an interesting life, to say the least. They're very open with their sex life and their relationship. So I think it brings great ratings to the show. I don't think she needs to replace Nene. I think she could just be on the show.
Okay.
But I think it'd be good for Bravo, and I think it'd be a good look for her. Absolutely, I'm here for it.
Nah, listen, Monique is a legitimate actress, and ain't no way in hell she's gonna join the Real Housewives of Atlanta, where all they do is bitch and moan and fight.
Well, hold up now. Hold up now.
She's not gonna last long. She's not going to last long.
She wouldn't last long, but she done reality TV before when she did Charm School.
Yeah, but she
was ratchet.
But she
was ratchet on that.
She was ratchet, but her character was babies. You got to.
Oh, but she got out of character though. She got out of character. Yeah, she got out of character a couple times.
But that don't fit the Real Housewives. They like to fight and cuss, and Monique
and
is.
I know she can go there.
Yeah, but Monique is all about the babies and coming.
Well, let's just be real. Okay, let's just be real. After she did her whole campaign of how she felt like she was ripped off from, Lee Daniels and how Netflix blackballed her. I mean, what is she doing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I just seen her live video of her yesterday. I'm sorry. She's making vegan steaks. She just showed an IG video yesterday.
You're not doing anything in that way doesn't mean you're not really doing anything. And I want people to understand we as actors.
No, stop. Wait.
Faceted.
Hold on 1 minute. So Nathaniel, I need you to tell me. I done lost my place when you threw me for. I mean, that threw me for a loop. Like right, that was it. That was stop. Just give me a minute to collect myself because I want Nathaniel. I want you to tell us where you saw the fact that she confirmed she wasn't coming because I haven't seen that. CJ, I would like for you to explore for me just a little bit further. What do you mean? You saw her on Instagram Live making vegan steaks?
Yeah. So yesterday
vegan steaks on Instagram Live. Like, why are you making a vegan steak?
Yeah. So yesterday she did an IG Live video and she was like, babe, like Tracy said, she was like, baby, we in here. She was cooking. She said, and let me just tell you, let me just let you zoom into this real quick. She said, this is it wasn't a vegan, it was an eggplant vegan steak. That's what it was. And she goes, and it on cauliflower rice. And I was like, it looked good. I'm not gonna lie, say it's not good. And to circle back to what my Tracy said, yes, just because they're not on the screen does not mean they're not doing nothing behind the scenes. I totally understand that. I know it's more people doing things behind the scene that doesn't want to be on screen no more. They used to be on screen, now they want to do behind the scene, produce and things like that. But to my knowledge, I didn't know that she was doing anything even behind the scene right now, to my knowledge. But she could have some things in the work. I know she was a little frazzled up over the past couple of years because what Netflix did to her. When they did treat her wrong with the whole Amy Schumer thing and offered Amy Schumer more for her.
Does anybody watch
Angie, I see your face. I see your face, Angie. I see your face.
But that's debatable on if she was done wrong. Here's the thing.
Right. So we don't really know. We don't really know what really happened. Right.
I have to say something. Amy Schumer at the time was at the top of her game.
Absolutely. So
she was getting paid. Monique, baby, as much as we love you, you have Oscars and all of this. That was in like 2009.
So does that take away from her accolades because she got it in 2009?
But she hadn't done.
She's not that funny.
Go ahead. I'm just saying you cannot compare your career 10 years ago to someone else who's on.
Right. I'm not debating that. I'm just saying that's what I know that what she was dealing with in the past couple of years.
But
that's what I'm just saying. So that's why I said I think that if she has confirmed or not confirmed, this is one thing I would say about the Housewives right now. One thing. Whoever's on their team, whoever's on their team.
She's not. I know she can replace Nene, but did she say she wasn't going to be on the show?
I don't know that, but this is what I will say as being a fan to the show, and this is what the Housewives franchise does, and more so because Atlanta is one of the biggest franchises out of all the cities. Okay, what they do is they make these stories up throughout the filming until it starts to air in November, typically mid-November, so they can keep it irrelevant. Pretty much every year, someone's tied to someone coming to the show. You know, Kenya Moore was saying that there was a rumor saying that she wanted Vivica on the show this season coming up, because it'd be good TV, and then they can kind of hash out what they had. You know, it was rumored that Phaedra Parks was going to come back, which I would be in favor of Phaedra Parks to come back. And
I love that.
Yeah, and Nene has already said that she wanted Kim to come back, and they were also talking about Sheree coming back. So they do this every year when the season's over. They make these stories up to keep people in tune with the show, and they tie all these people that could potentially be in the show, but that's really not going to be in the show.
We do want Phaedra back. We do not ever want to see Kim go.
Well, Phaedra personally came out and made her message, because she is about to be on the new marriage boot camp, celebrity marriage boot camp.
Not watching it.
And Phaedra, she's on the new season now, and she specifically said that she is focusing on love right now. That's not where her life is, you know, on the Housewives. She's focusing on love, but it's not something that's ruled out. But as far as her coming back as a peach holder, that's probably not going to be. If she came back on the show, it might be a friend of the show.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that as a black woman, we can focus on love and other shit at the same time.
Absolutely. I think she needs to come back. You know, she said she's honored that the fans want her to come back. You know, Phaedra is a fan favorite. She's not one of the OGs, but she was on the show since season 3. And I feel like some things, right? There's some things for her and Candy, and I'm with Nene on this. You know, why can't we have her on the show so Candy and Phaedra can kind of hash out whatever they got going on? I actually miss their friendship.
I want all these shows to go off the air, these reality shows, because they depict us in such a very bad light, especially the black ones. All we do is sit up here and fight. I do like Married to Medicine, because it appears that those women have real legitimate jobs.
Yeah, but they've been getting a little ratchet too, Tracy. They've been getting a little turned with it.
They didn't base their careers off of this crap. No,
and I get that. I agree with you that, because to me, out of all the franchise, the only Real Housewives really is Beverly Hills and OC. Those are the bitches that got real money and that got stuff going on. Like, let's just be real. Orange County and Beverly Hills is real money.
Wasn't New York real money? No.
Oh yeah, they were too. I like New York too. Yes.
I love the Housewives of Atlanta. I think it's a phenomenally entertaining program, and I support those black women in their come up. I hate Kenya Moore, and I do not support Nene Lee. Nene Lee, I don't like you. I don't support you. But everybody else I support.
And Kenya Moore is a mess. Kenya Moore is a hot mess. She always plays the victim.
They depict black women in such a negative light, and then they get on these shows. They get on the legit Glee and all these other shows. They get these Broadway opportunities, and these actors who have been out here fighting, going to class, taking all of their real skill, and they got to sit behind and watch these people. I don't care if it is for 15 minutes, get up on a Broadway stage, and I just don't think it's fair. And Andy needs his ass whooped for that. You need your ass whooped.
Real quick.
Young has done more to, set us back, black women back in the civil rights movement. Than anybody else in the last 10, 15 years. I just do. So I agree with what you're saying, Tracy, because there are a lot of roles that they take that real actors and actresses could take, and it's
they only get it because of the platform that they're on. That's it.
And I think that sucks, because
television and the industry has evolved. The industry.
I think I agree with Tracy and Angie, and that's how I feel about a lot of celebrities too. When you have these people that are celebrities and then their kids come up, I feel like these kids only get the same roles just because of who their parents are, not because of their talent. Which it goes in tie with what Tracy was saying. These people that's on these reality TV shows getting these big Broadways like Chicago and Cinderella, when there's people like Tracy that have, and not saying they don't have time, but put the work in, went to school for this. They're trained actors and actresses.
Tracy is a good actress.
Right. But then you have someone that goes on a ratchet TV show, and now they can be, Roxy Hart in Chicago.
Do you see that?
And that's an iconic role.
Right.
So for me to see her given that opportunity based off of her portrayal of herself on Real Housewives is frustrating because there are some legit powerhouse actors. I'm not even advocating for myself. I know some legitimate powerhouse actors that are sitting at home dying for the opportunity.
Well, let me advocate for myself because I'm hungry. I have some buttered broccoli that I made. I steamed the broccoli. I had to do it twice because the first time I steamed it, it burned. Like the bottom of the broccoli burns. I had to throw it out and remake it. But it's really ready to eat. It's tender. And I also have some chicken. I'll be posting that on my Instagram. You guys can Instagram, so it's going to be good. But we cannot end.
Go ahead. I want to advocate for myself because we're trying to y'all get on. I want to be on the real. I'm talented.
We want to see Angela Maxwell on the real.
A real black girl on one of these shows that don't have nothing else going on and ain't got nothing to lose because that's good TV.
Okay.
Great TV.
I am in favor for it. I am in favor for it.
I promise you I will not quit because it'll be better than any other job I have and I ain't got nothing else going on. So I'm not going to quit. Just sign me up.
Ezra, we're wrapping up. Ezra, we are concluding. Give us 5 minutes because we want to give you the up, the down, and the clown. Every single week on our Thursday, we talk about the up, which is the best things or some really positive news happening in the world today. We talk about the down, something that is definitely something you need to know about, that is something that's negative, not so great in the news, and the clown, something that's absolutely foolish. I really believe that Donald Trump has won the clown, like maybe he's on a win streak. But we will see if he has it again this week. And then we're going to talk about products that we love. And I know we sent out in our show notes the breakdown. Let me pull up my notes. Tracy has the up. What's the up, Tracy?
So my up for this week is a big congratulations to Danelle Walker Whiteside, who was just recently announced to be the interim president of Austin Peay University in Clarksville, Tennessee. That is unheard of. She is the first African-American, first Black to hold this position, and I'm so super proud of her. I actually got to work with her when she was a teenager and I was in college, so I've watched this young lady grow and blossom. So that is my up. Danelle Whiteside, congratulations.
Congratulations. And so Tracy, you know what, because both Angela and I talk about, we didn't go to an HBCU, but we are happy to support. Yeah. So Angela, we may need to support this upcoming, year. We may make a commitment to Austin Peay.
No, Austin Peay is not a historically Black college.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's OBC. Now, I need you to go, if you're going to make a commitment, I need you to go to the private chat. There is an opportunity for you to donate to the Tennessee State University National Alumni Association Huntsville Chapter virtual scholarship fundraiser that they are holding.
Did the president of Tennessee State attend the Trump meeting?
There is an opportunity for you to donate to the Tennessee State University National Alumni Association Huntsville Chapter virtual scholarship fundraiser. So please go to their Eventbrite. I posted the information in the private chat. I'm not going to allow you to bring down a Black HBC Black college.
The president of your university brought herself down when she sat at a table with Donald Trump.
This is her people. I will not allow you to do it. I'm going on mute.
Angie, what did you say?
Wait, did that happen?
Donald Trump had all the Black HBCU presidents come and surround him, and I'll repost a picture tonight.
I don't remember her being there.
I don't know. Was she there, Tracy?
Because the president of Tennessee State University is also the bacillus of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I think
so. I will not say anything bad about her on this.
Oh Lord, she must have been there.
Tennessee State University National Alumni Association Huntsville Chapter. If you can go to the Eventbrite, I'm going on mute.
This is not good. I'm floored. I need to get in my group chat and see what's happening because I missed something with my sorority.
So right. So we had the up. Who has the down? Who was assigned the down?
It wasn't me. I have the clown.
I looked for my name and that was it.
My name's not even on, so I don't know.
I think so the down really would have been Jamel. And so with that, I will now add in the down of the week. This week's down really does go to the fact that Betsy DeVos and President Trump have been castigating educators. Betsy DeVos got on national television. She addressed all of America's educators. I will say that from the moment COVID-19 upended public education in this country, people have said, well, what does Betsy DeVos have to say? And she didn't make any address. She's never got on the podium. She's never spoken to the educators that she represents. The first time that this Secretary of Education chose to address the American people and the American public education workforce was to tell us that we did a bad job. She said only 12% of educators had done a good job in the COVID-19 era, and it really was a true slap in the face to all American public school educators. In addition, she praised a private school network and a charter school network and one public school system, but that was it. The fact that she chose to single out Fairfax, Virginia's public schools as the model of what not to do, when in actuality, what they're doing is probably the most likely to be the safest thing possible to lead to children being safe in the era of COVID-19, which is a hybrid model. Some kids can go online and then they can have some days of face-to-face instruction. So all of that to say that truly was a down in the week. I know that a lot of America's educators are feeling low morale about or behind what she said, but if you feel bad about it, all I can tell you is to march to the polls in November. With that being stated, what is the clown?
So the clown goes to Kanye West. Woo! Kanye West, honey, I don't know what's going on with you, but what I need you to do is hold down, because this is not the time for you to get in and act a fool and get Trump reelected. We are not here for that. We are not here for you. We'll never buy another album if you continue this foolishness and this what we call fuckery with a P. Listen, this is not it. This is not it. This is not it for you, honey. This is not it. Okay? This is not your lane. This is not, we're not your people in this, and we do not support you. Please sit down, go take your medicine, and I need you to get on Zoom with your therapist, because right now this is not cute and it is not a good look. Kanye West, you are the clown of the week, and we are not here for your shenanigans and your spiritualizations.
We are not here for it. I agree 110%. All of that to go into the very final thing, which is a product that we love. Does anyone have a product they want to shout out, the product that we love?
I do.
Shout it out.
It's not necessarily a product, but these are two Black-owned businesses that I have supported recently. Lennox Cupcakes, located at 5393 Peachtree Road. I discovered them today. It's Black-owned, and that baby is back there baking them cupcakes, okay? And she's designing them on the go. Like it's so cool. She has a window that you walk up to and everything. So I think that's dope. So follow her on social media, on Instagram at Lennox Cupcakes, and then just add honey on 209 Edgewood Avenue. I love it. Y'all look, Black-owned tea company. And it's just really a cute little place located behind Lady Bird on the Beltline. It's just a dope little thing. So if you're walking on the Beltline, just take a little pit stop to Just Add Honey.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Just Add Honey for years. So I've been Just Add Honey used to be in the Sweet Auburn Curb Market, and that's where they were at first. And so I would go there to get my tea. They have great tea artifacts like diffusers and little tea, great little things that really make tea enjoyable. And then to support that Black-owned business, I agree with, is wonderful. Any other products that you want to shout out, something you're using that you're loving?
I do have.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Angie. Go ahead, boo.
Like it was gonna be really, really good. I support Beauty and the Bead 6. I am now into waist beads, and Beauty and the Bead 6 is an amazing Black-owned business, and she custom makes waist beads. And you know, Black women, we're all into a lot of different things, but she knows about the beats, she knows about the energies, and she'll talk to you about what you're trying to achieve, and she will custom make your beats to fit what you got going on. She also went to Mississippi State University and is a native of Mississippi, Lakita Gaddison. So I am so proud of you. I love your product. I just got my first order, and it's Beauty and the Beads sticks. If you are into waist beads, anklets, and she custom makes this jewelry, and her customer service is amazing.
You know, I have a good question for you ladies about these waist beads that I've seen. Because, you know, I work out, I go to my spin class, and some of the ladies, you know, they come in and they have on their sports bra, and they have on their waist beads, and I see the waist beads, and I'm like, this is something I've honestly thought about. So I want anyone who knows me personally to don't judge me when I ask, but I have honestly thought to myself about these waist beads. And I know the point is they kind of slide down as you lose weight. But my question is, like, don't they break during sex?
No. I can answer that.
Ooh.
But here's okay. But are you not being conscious of them? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, I'm thinking about my waist beads.
No, because they are durable. They're made out of a stretchy material, and no, they don't. I mean, you can have. I mean, you can remove them if you don't want to have them on.
I thought you couldn't take them off.
There are some that you can put on and you tie them on and you keep them on. Mine, I have a clasp on it, so I can take mine off when I want to.
Okay. Those are really fancy. So, you know, we shout out your friend. Let's, you know, get some of those.
In the heat of the moment, we ain't thinking about them damn bees or things or whatever.
I mean, I think when you're with someone who's conscious of you, they know how you feel about your hair. Like, I have natural hair. Don't get my hair wet. And okay, so don't mess with my hair. Don't mess with my beads. And we still good. We're gonna have a good time in here.
No, that's right.
And Ezra, I know that you are a grown woman who's married with kids, but you don't answer this question. And with that being said, CJ, product that you love.
Yeah, so my cousin, Trey, he has his own beard product. It's called Pure. It's based with all organic oils and natural oils, and it keeps your beard healthy and strong and growing and gleaming. So for all you fellas out there who are looking for a new beard product, strictly oils to keep your hair shiny, to keep it fresh, to keep it growing, and to have just that natural look to it with all natural products that's used to make this beard oil. Please check him out on Instagram. It's all online. He's based out of Boston now, getting ready to relocate to LA. But you can order his products on Pure. The website is on the link in his bio on Pure on Instagram. It's Pure. And it is Black owned. And not only because he's my cousin, but he does have great customer service because that's how he was raised. And his product is great and it's sound, and he'll answer any questions that you have for him. That's
a great gift for a number of if you are a Black woman, you have your man has a beard. That's a great gift just to get to a lot of people and don't know beard maintenance.
Absolutely. And I like to keep it with my look and my beard, and I like to keep it looking all fresh and black and shiny and all that.
Okay.
So you know.
Yeah. You know, I don't put any kind of beard oil makes me break out. Like it'll give me like a little.
No. I think this is because they use natural organic products. Everything is naturally organic products. So check them out.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for your beard to grow, if you want your beard to grow and you don't want to have to use the shampoos and the oils, he puts everything in just the oils that you only have to use the oil.
I'm gonna grow. I don't really like. It's not a good look. It's a good look for you. And Chick-fil-A and Black on Black crime. It's not a good look for me. And that's what I do.
It's not a good. You're right. It's not a good look for you when you don't support the people. You're right. And you support the wrong businesses.
God.
You support the wrong.
No, I ain't ate all night. I rushed to get on here.
Yes. I'm sorry, Zach. I will deal with you on another.
I don't support the people, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, I want to emphasize, Nathaniel, we do this every Thursday, brother. So check us again. It's always robust conversation. Go back, check some of the live, the older pieces. And thank you guys for joining us. We want to thank so much. We got the full crew here. CJ and Tracy, our hosted group, and then our special guest Angela. We can't wait to have you back again. Thank you. Thank you.
I've had so much fun, guys. Thank you for having me.
Be safe out there in Texas, Angie. Thank you.
Yep.
Be safe out there.
All right, guys. Bye, y'all.
Good. It was a good show.